Hi, we're back with episode 3 of the checkers game I'm working on this week. And again, a lot of lists in this episode. So, what do I have here? First thing, just as an aside, I added a debug level. I have debugging turned off, but this may be something you want to use in your programs, particularly with out in an IDE. It's pretty simple. I just use debug, and then if debug, which is you saw the constant set above, is greater than the level, then I'm going to print a message. You can see maybe in one of these that I've done it. Not that one. I know I did it here in init checkers. Init checkers, which is up here, right? So in init checkers, you can see, hey, I have debug. So if I'm at debug level 3, I'm going to print init checkers, and this would just, if you start each of your functions with something like this in a high enough debug range, then you can get a program trace pretty quickly. Beware of putting that in the draw command. Otherwise, it's just going to flood your screen. So you probably want to put, if you're going to trace in the draw, put it at a debug level of 6 or something. So you can do that as well. But that's just an aside. Comment if you want a better description of that, and I can tell you. So anyway, you can see I set up my game states. Again, I use constants here. I'm not really interested in using strings for some reason. I'm not sure why. I could easily use strings. I wouldn't do what the professors recommended and use for the memory game 0, 1, and 2, even though that's pretty obvious what they mean. If you use words, you'll keep yourself from running into problems later. So where's the meat of this one? Much like the memory game, it's going to be in one spot here. It's in the mouse handler. So when I click on a spot, you can see I'm going to do a whole bunch of lists. Here I'm going to get a black list, and so what does this do? This pulls the first element, which happens to be, I can remember here, it's position, the first element in my list of checkers. So what does this do? It pulls where all the checkers are for the black checkers, and then red list, strangely enough, pulls the list of all the positions for the red checkers. And then I get the board position by this function that I created called getBoardPosition, which doesn't do a whole lot. It really just converts the checkers from the canvas coordinates into board coordinates. May have talked about that last time. Anyway, so then what do? We can see I have a little state machine here. What you'll notice pretty quickly is I've only done black so far. I haven't done red yet. I'm not sure if I'll ever make this a two-player game or if I will go straight into making this a computer game where you'll play the computer and then you'll always be black and the computer will always be red. But so I built a state machine here, and so what happens when black starts? You haven't picked a checker yet, so what does it do? It checks to see if the position you've clicked with the mouse is in the list that you created right up here. So if the position is in the mouse, it just puts this into a global variable and then moves the state to black move. Once you get to black move, it's gonna, again, this will happen on your next click, and so your next click, you're in black move. You've already selected checker, now you've selected another one. So what's it going to do? It's going to go through all your checkers and see which checker you're on. So it says, hey, selected, which you put above, and goes through them and selects it. And then it's going to do this one. It's going to get all the moves that black can make. If there's no moves black can make, then you've selected a checker that can't move, and it'll go back to black start. Probably need to fix this because it's 2 clicks, but it's where I am right now. Else it'll say, hey, if it was a valid black move coming out of this function, then I'm going to update the position and set the state back. So how do we get all the moves? Well, we're going to use some lists again, and we'll look at it right here. So black moves does something. It makes a couple of lists, black moves and jumps. It breaks this out into X and Y just because I didn't want to have to write checker position 0 and checker position 1 all the times for the X and Y coordinates. I made this only black moves. I'll probably have something for red moves as well. Right now I can't think of how to genericize this enough. Oh, it says okay. You know, it just checks the first move. And then it says, hey, if that one move, there's a red checker in the way, check to see if I can jump it. If I can jump it, put it in the jump list. If not, then I don't put it in the jump list. If it's somehow not in red and it's not in black, then I'm going to put it as a valid move. And then I do the same thing for the other direction. So you can see I'm building a couple of lists here. Right now I only return black moves because I actually haven't made red move yet, so there's no jumping possibilities. So it just returns black moves, and you'll see me update this later. So what does it look like so far? There we are, and we can see, hey, I can click on it, highlighted it yellow, and then I can move it. You can see here, oh, there was no valid moves for that checker, so I can't move it. So, not that interesting of a game yet, but I got the black checkers moving. Now I just need to go about and check for the red checkers to move, and we'll have a game. I'm not too far away from having this being a decent two-player game. But like I said, I think I'm just going to make it a one-player game. Thanks for watching.